Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Gold with your daily gold analysis for the first trading day of the new week starting Monday the 16th of December. I'm recording this video just gone 3:05 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. At the daily chart level, the wave count's mostly the same and we have the same 2 hourly wave counts. At the daily chart level, I'm still expecting primary wave 4 is not over here and is continuing further sideways, and there are still several structural possibilities it can complete as. I'm labelling it as a double combination because that's pretty common and that's what looks like could be unfolding, but it could also be an expanded flat, particularly if the target is reached. That's how I'll relabel it. It could also be a running triangle. The first structure up here subdivides very clearly as a 3-wave structure. We have a 3-wave structure incomplete joining the 2 structures of the double, or this could be wave B of a flat correction, and our 2 hourly wave counts are looking at the possibility that either downwards movement is over here or this is just wave 1 within an extending 5th wave, which is more likely. The alternate hourly wave count sees intermediate wave X complete at this point here, and the reason why it has a lower probability is it sees the 5th wave truncated. The 5th wave would have failed slightly to move beyond the end of the 3rd wave, and that must reduce the probability of that idea. At this stage, the main hourly wave count expects minute wave 5 to be extended and reach equality in length with 3 at 1159. I have a target now for the 3rd wave within minute wave 5, and it's below the first target I previously had on the daily chart, so I've discarded that, and this is the only target we'll have now on the daily chart. Minute wave 5 should be extended. It should look like this, and it should last probably about the same duration. We should see its 2nd and 4th waves showing up on the daily chart, and it should last at least a couple of weeks. Within it, the 2nd wave can't move beyond the start of the 1st wave. Any movement above 1267.98 in the short term would invalidate the main hourly wave count, and we would have the alternate confirmed. At that stage, I would expect intermediate wave X was over here, and I'd calculate upward targets for you. Let's have a look at the more likely main hourly wave count, where the start of minute wave 5 here is this point up here. So we have a 5-wave impulse complete down here. I've adjusted the labelling within this piece of movement a bit to see the final 5th wave beginning here, because as a member quite rightly pointed out, it can't start here because this is a 3-wave structure. It looks like we had either most likely a double, possibly a triple combination in here for a very sideways moving 4th wave, complete at this point here. From this low, we have a 5, 3, and a completed 5. The labelling here on the hourly chart within sub-minuet wave C isn't exactly where I would place it on the 5-minute chart, but it does show you that this is a complete 5-wave impulse. When I look at it on the 5-minute chart, the subdivisions are really clear. It's actually got a nice, strong, extended 3rd wave in there. There's no Fibonacci ratio between sub-minuet wave C and A, and the C wave has overshot the channel. Often C waves do that. When they do and they turn back in, that's an indication that the C wave is over. Minuet wave 2 is overshot the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio, ending $1.32 above the target that we had for it. I expect this is most likely where the 2nd wave correction has ended, and a 3rd wave down has begun. At 1175, the 3rd wave would reach 1.618, the length of the 1st wave. There is an outlying possibility that this could be just wave A within a flat correction for the 2nd wave, or this zigzag could be the first of a double zigzag, but those ideas are less likely because it would see the 2nd wave lasting even longer, and it would start to look out of proportion to the 1st wave it's correcting. What's most likely is it is over here. If we see movement below 1238.75, then I would have more confidence in this wave count. And further movement below the parallel channel drawn around this upward zigzag with at least a full hourly candlestick below the channel and not touching this lower trend line would give me even more confidence that this second wave is over and a third wave down should then be underway. This target, 1175, may be up to 7 days away. I'm expecting Minuet Wave 3 to probably be about the same duration as Minuet Wave 3 within Minute Wave 3 was, because Minute Wave 5 is extending like the third wave was for this idea. So the durations of the waves within it should be about the same. This alternate idea simply moves the degree of labelling within this final fifth wave all up 1 degree, and so it is entirely possible that the fifth wave is over here, although as I pointed out on the daily chart, if it's over here, it's slightly truncated. That's why this is an alternate, that's why it has a lower probability. ABC and 1, 2, 3 subdivide in exactly the same way. So for this alternate idea, we'd probably have 1, 2, 3 and an unfolding fourth wave. The fourth wave may not move into first wave price territory. Any movement below 1238.75 would invalidate the idea that we have an impulse unfolding upwards. Movement below 1238.75 would confirm that from this low to this high we have a completed three-wave structure. That reduces the probability that we've had a trend change down here, but it doesn't fully and finally invalidate this alternate, because there are two structural possibilities for an A wave. It can be either a leading diagonal or an impulse. It's much more likely to be an impulse. Leading diagonals, while not really very rare, they're not exactly very common either. Within leading diagonals, subwaves 1, 3 and 5 are most commonly zigzags, but they may also be impulses. So this could be an ABC, first wave up, of a leading diagonal, and we could have a second wave down. Second waves and diagonals are usually pretty deep, but it can't move beyond the start of the first wave. This alternate hourly wave count is fully and finally invalidated with movement below 1220.65. While price remains above this invalidation point, we must accept the lower probability that we could have had a trend change down here. At the daily chart level, this triangle idea is still the same, and for the hourly chart, we're still looking at the possibility that either the fifth wave is over here, slightly truncated, or the fifth wave is going to extend like the third wave did, so the targets would be the same. This triangle idea for primary 4 expects lots of choppy, overlapping sideways movements for several weeks, if not a few months. It should be choppy, overlapping and very time consuming. So we got the upwards movement we expected, $1.32 above the target. Price has turned around and is starting to move lower. It's either a fourth wave correction within a new upwards trend, or more likely we've just seen the very early stages of a third wave down. For the main hourly wave count, I provided a trend channel and a price point. When the channel is breached and the price point is passed, I will have more confidence in the hourly wave count, and I will expect that there is less risk that the alternate would be correct below that point and channel. That's all for me today with your gold analysis, and I hope that all our members had a fabulous weekend.